Hello there, one and all, and welcome to episode 344 of Love at First Scent with me, Persolaise, live on YouTube. As always, thank you very much for joining me, whether you're watching the live or you're watching the recording. And we already have one comment. The first comment goes to Dev, who's saying, hello, Mr. P. Hello to you as well, Dev. And Paul Pofamo is giving a hand wave. Thanks very much to both of you for commenting. If you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please do consider doing so. And if you would like to get notifications about upcoming videos, make sure that you click on the little bell icon, because I think that is the best way of making sure that of ensuring that YouTube sends you notifications about upcoming videos. Anyway, for those of you watching live, the plan today is to do at least 3 back-to-back videos, possibly 4, depending on how we do. Let's see. Time is always against us. And I thought we'd start with what may turn out to be the longest one, because I would like to do one of my sort of review showcase videos of a particular brand. I'm always a little bit wary of doing these, because if it's a brand that I know very little about, next to nothing about, I feel a little bit more comfortable with discovering their work in my own time, because with a brand that if you've literally never smelt anything from them before, you have no idea what to expect. It could be that they approach perfumery in a way that is just going to be fundamentally, intrinsically different from how you view perfumes, from what you want your perfumes to smell like from the style. And so I think to do something like that live and smell them for the first time could be fraught with difficulties and potentially a little bit unfair. But then I sometimes put off smelling new scents for the longest time, because I need everything to be right, and the timing, of course, is never perfect. And so I thought, well, this is a brand that is new to me. It's been around for a few years, but I gather it's done fairly well out there in the fragrant community amongst some of you lot. So I thought, well, let's just do it. Let's smell some of them with you at the same time. So if you have smelt anything from this brand, please let me know. So the brand in question is called, the name is German and I'm probably going to mispronounce it, but it's Der Duft, which I think it just means the smells, right? Or the scents. It's a brand that was founded in 2020 by a chap called Anselm Skogstad, and he is also the perfumer behind one of the scents. I should actually tell you a little bit about what they say on their own website, because the whole idea is to showcase the style of different perfumers. So they don't have a kind of overarching theme or a theme running through all of the scents. You know, there isn't a story going through all of the scents. The idea is just to approach perfumers and get them to do their best work, I suppose. Der Duft, founded in 2020 by Anselm Skogstad, presents selected perfumers from around the world. It's interesting that they say they present perfumers rather than perfumes. The brand represents fragrances with a wide variety of focuses. The goal is to assemble different talents and personalities. Each perfumer has his or her own style, which is reflected in their creations for Der Duft. This is how the perfumes develop, each telling its own story. Personal associations can be discovered in the names of the individual perfumes, memories, dreams, wishes, experiences. Der Duft does not select its perfumers according to fixed rules. Sympathy and shared curiosity are the basis for collaboration. At the end of the creative process, the perfume finds its place in the Der Duft palette. The result is an oeuvre of timeless fragrances in a modern composition that touches us emotionally. And it's kind of interesting that they say that, because I think it wasn't too long ago in a video that I said, surely now in the perfume world, a novel thing to do would be to set up a brand where the objective is to just make good perfumes, and not tell, you know, not have each perfume representing a different animal, or each perfume representing a different chapter in the love story between a couple, etc., etc., etc. I don't know if we'll be able to get through all 7. Certainly we won't be able to smell all 7 in depth. But I am curious to have at least an initial sniff of as many of them as possible. And as I say, there are 7. 3. So the brand launched with 3 in 2020, then came 2 more in 2021, and then 2 more in 2022. And I thought we may as well start with the one that was created by the founder, and it is also one of the ones from 2020, so one of the initial launches. So I think here we go. We are about to finally do a sniff of this brand. The one by the founder, by Anselm Skogstad, is called Monopteros, which reminds me a little bit of a creature called the Monoptera from a very, very old 1960s episode of Doctor Who. If that means anything to anybody, then you and I are probably on the same wavelength. Very, very handy pre-labeled blotters, which is always useful. So here we go. This is Monopteros from Der Duft. Pop that one back on there. And I have no idea what to expect, okay, which is always kind of nerve-wracking, but also fun. And you've all gone very quiet, which always makes me paranoid, because if I don't see any comments, I'm thinking, is the stream even working? But anyway, I'm presuming that the clock is ticking here, so I'm presuming it's working. Oh, okay. This is quite kind of unexpected. Oh my goodness, there are loads of comments on here. I just realized I needed to click on something. Let me. Why did these comments not appear? Okay, Sharon says, my Sundays are always a bit brighter when I can watch catch a live video. Greetings from Dallas, Texas. Thank you very much. Nikki's here too. So is Andre. I have no idea why these comments disappeared. Dev says, currently toiling on my 7-page word assignment. 7-page word assignment for American history and listening to your lovely descriptions to keep me company. That's very, very kind. Thank you. Beautiful tulips, says Papa. Yes, aren't they beautiful? They're really, really stunning, aren't they? Yeah, everybody's watching, actually. EcoJock says, we're waiting for the face. More 13 Fiend says, the comments are working. I'm just listening to you while cooking dinner. What are you cooking? Right, so the comments are working. I was just needlessly getting paranoid. Okay, so this is hard to describe. There's something kind of plasticky, woody about it. Almost a little bit off-putting, but also kind of strangely, you know, when blackcurrant notes can be really, really quite challenging because they start heading into Uranus territory. It's giving me that kind of feel of really strange, overly tart fruit. I mean, it's certainly quite brave, and it's almost like leathers mixed with these strange fruit. Now, we handily have here on the blotter a list of notes. Coconut. Okay, see, and I struggle with coconutty notes, but it's a very strange coconut. It's like a black coconut, if you could imagine such a thing, because it's sort of shrouded in darkness. Coconut, aldehydes, coffee. God, can you imagine that combination of coconut and coffee? Neroli, raspberry, cucumber, rose, nutmeg, black pepper, and cardamom. Wow. The main thing that is coming across is a sort of coffee coconut weirdness with something very, very, very sharp, 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 cold at the top. Could be like the combo of the raspberry with the aldehydes. Sounds messy, says Chang. Yeah, at the moment, I'm sort of tied somewhere between messy and interesting. And something very strangely woody happening in the base. Now, the brand do not actually, because I checked this out beforehand, they do not reveal very much about the perfumes or their sort of thoughts behind the perfumes on their site. It's very, very, very minimalist, the information. But let's see what it says for Monopteros. I am proud to be the perfumer of Monopteros, it says on the site. The fragrance is inspired by a classical round temple named Monopteros. This little temple is situated on a hill in Munich's Englischer Garten. It is a magical place from where you can enjoy a charming view of the Englischer Garten and the skyline of the city. Monopteros is a homage to Munich. Okay. Whereas I'm thinking it at the moment it could be more in tune with the web planet that the Monoptera creature lived on from the old 1960s Doctor Who story. Yeah, certainly strange, certainly strange. I mean, coconut often makes things smell strange, but I can't quite put my finger on what the weird woody note in the base is. Or maybe it's also, because if you can think of a combo of coconut and the marine-like quality of cucumber and the sort of metallic aspects of neroli. Somewhat challenging opening, I think, but definitely one to see how it performs on the blotter later on. Okay, so we're off to an interesting start. Let's go right. Let's sort of travel forward in time for one of their most recent ones, which is by Nathalie Feisthauer, called Privilege. Now, Nathalie Feisthauer is a perfumer who has been freelance for quite some time, and she has a particular love for synthetics. She makes no secret of the fact that she, and also there's nothing, you don't need to make a secret of the fact that you like synthetics. Synthetics used well can be extremely interesting. I hope I'm pronouncing your name properly. Is it Efchen or Efsen? But yes, I like that collection of emojis there, because you've kind of got everything that is in this perfume and a sort of slightly confused face. So yeah, but this is Privilege by Nathalie Feisthauer. Let's see what this is like. Yeah, see, very, very typically Nathalie Feisthauer, unashamedly synthetic opening. But she's an interesting perfumer. I don't think she never kind of takes the easy way out of a challenge. There's something intriguingly incensey here. It's just clear. Apologies why I just clear the nose a little bit. Always the best thing to do, by the way, is smell your skin or smell some unscented fabric. Don't bother with the coffee beans, or have a sip of water. That's probably the best thing to clear your nose with. Yeah, this is a sort of incensey reminiscent of Comme des Garçons 2 Man, with its kind of snuffed candle feel. This is definitely more approachable, but no less intriguing. But it also feels a bit more one note, even though actually there is tons written here on this blotter. So here it says vegetal notes: galbanum, carrot seed, blackcurrant, rhubarb; marine notes, mineral notes: lily of the valley, iris, cedarwood, Paraguayan gaiac wood, palo santo, Haitian amyris, ambroxan, cashmeran, ambrette, and musk. Would you like anything else? Oh, Eliza says, I've just found my sample of cinematic. I'll be smelling along if you get to that one. Okay, well, because you've got the sample, we will be sure to do cinematic as well. That's a 2021. But let me go back to this one. It's a kind of greeny, sharp white incense. Interesting, and very silvery, metallic. That one definitely gets a kind of thumbs up, interesting. And let's see what the brand says about it. Probably not very much. What have we got? Just one moment while I click on it. So this is Privilege. And for Privilege, it's just a quote from Nathalie Feisthauer again. She says, my personal interpretation of the term privilege is that it is a privilege for me to have water, nature, greenery, woods, and the sea available to me. In other words, having nature around me is the ultimate privilege. Privilege has become my tribute to the natural elements. So there's a slight irony in the fact that it comes across as a kind of lab-made interpretation of nature and naturalness, because one thing that it does not smell is overly natural, which, like I said, it does not have to be a problem. You can do extremely interesting things with synthetics. Krista says, you lost me at carrot and marine. I kind of got a little bit lost at marine as well, but not at carrot, because of course carrot seed has got strong links with iris, and there is a little bit of that happening there as well. So it's very dry, it's very windswept and smoky, but not sooty smoky. It's a very, very clean, filtered sort of smoke. And the fruitiness in it is kind of intriguing as well. This one I'm fascinated by. I will come back to the Monopteros later. Okay. So somebody said cinematic. Let's go to cinematic. So that's from 2020 by Miguel Matos, who has made 2 for them, I believe. Yeah, he made cinematic in 2020 and Pride as well in 2020. So let's try cinematic. Who, I forget what it was. Oh, Eliza. Let us know what you think of it as well. Okay, so this is cinematic. Appropriate for today because the BAFTA Film Awards are going to be handed out in London. So I will be watching that at home. Seeing as film is a very one of my big loves as well. DJ says Miguel Matos' style is very brash and loud. Yes, I think you and I agree on that one. So cinematic. Okay. Cinematic at first sniff is an extremely pleasant sort of vintage bar of soap. Not what I was expecting. Yes, I am still thinking powderiness, a very, very gentle creaminess, woodiness, maybe a hint of carnation, and something quite retro about it. Maybe in that kind of powdery, floral carnation vibe. And really quite gentle actually. Interesting, not what I was expecting. So this apparently contains petitgrain, ginger, lemon, cardamom, jasmine, rose, all beautiful things, carnation, ylang ylang, vanilla, coumarin, musk, cashmeran, civet, moss, and amber. But Eliza says it's mostly ginger and lemon on my skin and not gentle at all. Interesting. This reminds me, now here's a test for you because I'm not going to be able to find this out. Or maybe somebody can quickly do a search. There is one and only one scent in the Frederic Malle range that was made by Frederic Malle, but it wasn't actually a perfume. It's not available as a perfume. I believe it's available only as a soap and maybe as a shower gel. If anybody knows, it certainly was available as a soap. And I think it was meant to be, if memory serves. Is it Jurassic Flower, says DJ? No, it definitely wasn't that. If memory serves, I think it was meant to be inspired by a Mediterranean villa or a sort of Mediterranean holiday, something like that. I can't remember exactly what. But this smell, the cinematic, is very much reminding me of that, of stepping, one of those sort of, Yura says Mal's iris hand cream should be perfume, but that's an iris scent made by Olivia Jacobetti, unless I'm mistaken. So it's not that one either. Eliza says it's getting softer now, a bit soapy indeed. Okay, interesting. But or is that just because I put the idea in your head? You never know. This has got a very, very kind of convincing naturalness to it, and it's like stepping into, I don't know why I'm saying an Italian hotel, but that's what came to my mind. A hotel that hasn't been modernized, but is still in excellent condition, and the furniture is beautiful. And you walk into the bathroom, and you've got this really, really high quality bar of soap waiting for you there. There you go, Woozy. Thank you. It's Anteranea or whatever. That was it. I knew it was a sort of oddly Latinate or Greek name or something. That was the one. But this is fascinating. Let's see what Miguel himself had to say about it. So cinematic, he says, in cinematic, I wanted to play with the notion of time and present notes and accords that are traveling back and forth, retro and modern, interesting, mix into something timeless and airy with the texture of emotions and an evolution that tells you an abstract story through very concrete elements. The scent is therefore dynamic and airy with lots of fresh fruits, spices and flowers over a base that cushions you comfortably. So I would say actually that he has succeeded with that, because there is something quite plush and cushiony about it. Let's try to do at least 2 more. So I've done those 3. Let's do Match by Anne-Sophie. Is it Behaghel? No, it's not going to be Shell, is it? Match. Where's my sample of Match? That's from 2021, so recent-ish. Have a quick spray. Oh gosh, some of that went all over me there, not onto the blotter. Eliza says getting somewhat spicy and animalic now. It's quite interesting. Anyway, let's smell Match. This is sort of, again, burnt matches, snuffed out candles. Something very, very, very definitely spicy in there. Could be pepper, but it could also be nutmeg and slightly suede-like, leathery. This is sort of quite suave, I think. It starts off quite sophisticated and quite sort of camel leather colored. So not necessarily the texture, but just that beautiful camel leather color that you get from camel leather. Funnily enough. Right. Clear that as well a bit. The spiciness here is really nicely done. So what does it say on the thing? Black pepper, cumin, ginger, grapefruit, sandalwood, vetiver, cedarwood, ambroxan. So all of the really nice spices and woods. Iris butter, karma wood. I have no idea what that is, but I'm guessing that's going to be some kind of a captive. And suede. Okay, so spicy, gentle suede, light beige suede. But perhaps because it's the most approachable of the 4 I've tried so far, perhaps it's also the least original, the least striking. Let's see what the brand says. So this was Match. And here we have got a quote again. While creating Match, I wanted to compose a revolutionary perfume. Oh, okay. Fresh and exciting. Match is the scent of passion. Maybe a perfume that brings people together to the rare alchemy that we want to be eternal. Okay, I'm not sure what that means. I will have a think about it, but it's a very, very, very attractive perfume. And certainly on paper, that interplay between the spices and the suede and the woodiness is very, very nicely done. The Miguel Matos worked nicely. So let's do the other one from Miguel. This is Pride from 2020. Where is it? Here we go. I'm also guessing from the colors of all of these samples that none of these have been artificially colored. They look like quite sort of genuine perfume juice colors. Oh, the Pride sprayer is not working for some reason. That's annoying. Let's give it a squeeze. Ugh. Okay, well, managed to get some out there. Okay. Yura says, can't wait for you to try Filippo Sorcinelli. Can never make sense of his blurbs. Oh, okay. Oh, and DJ says, do act and canvas. What? So you just basically want me to do all 7, don't you? Anyway, this is Pride. Oh. This is most intriguing. For some reason, I'm in Calcutta, but don't ask me why yet. And I'll be sitting here thinking, I wish I could be back in Calcutta. There's a kind of, almost a sort of tomato leaf green quality to it. Ooh, and something now coming through, something, ooh, quite funky and naughty. Yeah, suddenly we're not in Calcutta anymore, and we've stepped into kind of, mythological garden, and Pan is about to turn up from somewhere and have his way with all of us. And there's mossiness and dampness and danger. This is interesting. What have we got here? Bergamot, narcissus, could be the narcissus making me think that, carrot seed, jasmine, cashmeran, amber, sandalwood, patchouli, and moss. Yeah, that doesn't really convey the kind of nice filthiness that is coming through here. It could be the patchouli though, mind you. So this is pride. So he says, in order to speak about pride, I searched inside myself and what I am proud of bringing to the table when I make perfume. I'm proud of my perfume culture coming from the past, the classics, and vintage perfumery. Interesting. So this is meant to make us think of the past. And I suppose, you know what it's making me think of now? We're having a little bit of a Frederick Mal reference time here, but if you think of Superstitious. I was going to say supernatural. Superstitious from Frederick Mal, the one by Dominique Copion, which is like a real huge vintage aldehydic jasmine. There are certainly vibes of that here, except this is dirtier and funkier and browner and more dangerous, and perhaps even more uncompromising. So on the strength of these 5, and because I want to get some other ones into other videos as well, we will save the other 2. Perhaps we'll come back to them, or perhaps I'll write about them on the blog. So we're saving Act and Canvas for another day. But let's have a quick sniff again. So Monopteros was the one that we started with. Yeah, that's like, I'm not sure. That's a little bit too odd. We'll see how it develops on the blotter. Cinematic was the other one by Miguel Matos. Yeah, still doing its kind of gentle Italian soap thing. Match by Anne-Sophie Behaghel. Again, still nicely spicy, leathery. Privilege was the Nathalie Feisthauer one, which is now coming across, in contrast with the other ones, as really quite synthetically marine. So make of that what you will. And then Pride is the one we just sprayed anyway, which is, yeah, vintage up to the elbows. You know, doesn't mind getting into that naughtiness of vintage sense. Okay, so overall, I think safe to say a thumbs up. So well done, Mr. Skogstad. And I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that name. And we will save the other 2, either come back to them on another video. But I will now stop the stream, let YouTube do its thing for a few minutes, and we will come back with at least a couple more videos. But thank you very much for watching this one. Oh, and I should also say, please, if you have watched this video and you have enjoyed it, then please give it a like, give it a thumbs up, because that really helps with YouTube spreading the word about the video and getting other people to watch it. So I'd be very grateful for the old thumbs up, but I will see you soon with the next one. Take care. Bye now.